Hey, how's it going? Hope you're all doing well. Welcome to another edition of the cockpit build for the Elite Dangerous playlist here on the Commander 64 YouTube channel. I want to start this video off by saying thank you to all the positive response I've had since resuming work on this video series. I've had some encouraging comments and a fair few views dropping in, and that's just what I was hoping was going to happen, so I'm glad you guys and girls are enjoying the series. If you're new here, you have the option of starting this series from the beginning by clicking the eye at the top right of the screen there. And please consider subscribing to the channel if you're into this kind of stuff or other Elite Dangerous related things. And also retro gaming, which I'd fit in the weeks between this cockpit build. Okay, now that's all out the way, let's get on with the video, shall we? A flashback to a year ago, I was playing Elite Dangerous with my budget Hotus and the short wire that connects the joystick and the throttle together on a standard computer desk. Since then, the desk has been left in the shed. The wire connecting the throttle and the joystick has been lengthened. Click the eye at the top right there if you want to see how I did that on the cheap. In my case, it was actually free. And I built these armrests. Well, this week, I'm bringing the desk back out of the shed. I'm going to squeeze it underneath this shelf that holds up the monitor. And we're going to be doing some modifications to it to save some space. So here's the old desk. I've removed the top and the sliding tray that the keyboard sits on. Over there is the top of the desk, which I've applied a piece of tape to, and I'm going to saw along that line, a nice straight line hopefully, to split that top into two pieces. And then with my angle tool, I have made these diagonal lines across where the top would normally sit. And on the other side, hopefully, I've made the exact same angle. And that will be the angle that the desk will sit at. It will be similar to a school table or an artist's drawing table, which it may actually occasionally be used for, because I actually do digital art as well. And if you like, you can follow my art by clicking these links, which I'll leave in the description below as well. Throughout this series I've been using a cheap jigsaw, and I could do this job perfectly well with that jigsaw again, because actually it's pretty good. But my father-in-law has lent me this circular saw today and I fancied trying it out. But to be honest, as I say, the other saw would have done this job fine. I just wanted to play with a new toy. So with the top sawed into two and the support sawed at an angle, we can now have a little preview of how it's going to sit. Something like this. This is what I'm going to use to reattach the two pieces that make up the top back together. These are fairly cheap, just a couple of English pounds. They're called continuous hinges or piano hinges, and they're designed to be fixed to doors. When that's connected, I'll be able to put it at that angle that I wanted. This part is easy, just mark up the dots where the holes are, tap some dents in and screw them into place. And here it is again, sitting on the desk, and I can tilt it up like this if I want to for any reason. Not sure why yet. Maybe I'll have some wires running under there or something that I want to access occasionally, and just having that little hinge there to lift it up might be helpful. And I've got a fair amount of desk there, you can see, to fit a keyboard on, and hopefully a button box of some sort too, which is secretly the part of the series that I'm most looking forward to, is the button box with all the fancy lights and switches. I can't wait to get to that bit. It's going to overhang slightly, but I'm getting to get a larger drawing surface, large area for the buttons.
and there is a gap here which you can't see, but there is at the back. There's a gap about that much, obviously. It's held together by these locking pieces. So now I need to move the locking pieces over here. I want to move it over here. Just move it over slightly. I put a piece of tape on where the locking nut is. Put some tape down there on the wood, so then I can tape this bit there to match it up. Now I know I need to move the locking nut to the centre of that tape, which is what I'll do. This is what it locks to. So now I'm just going to move that over here. Yay! It's there, it's on. So, another one of the problems I've had is that this, I want to put my feet down like that. This is in the way. I don't want to put my feet on it, it's not strong enough. So what I'm going to do is cut a hole out of it. So I have borrowed my daughter's hula hoop and I'm going to cut a section out. She's just putting her orange peel in the bin. Good girl.
And your snake?
And my snake. We drew a snake on the orange peel.
Because snakes are too scary.
I've taped it down with some electric tape. Now I'm just going to get my pencil. There we go. Now I've got that line that goes around there.
Now here's a tip for any of you that might have YouTube channels of your own. Firstly, get a better angle than this, where you can actually see the saw and not your own arse. And always, 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 always tighten your camera tripod. Otherwise, you'll end up with footage like this.
So yes, after my camera tilted off and you didn't see any of the sawing that I did, which is really helpful, we now have this cut out section where I can put my feet down and get as close as I like, and it's still sturdy enough, not going to fall apart. Okay, so I've cut this to the perfect length of my keyboard. I'm going to stick it at the bottom down here just to stop the keyboard from going anywhere, hopefully. So using this, I've figured out where it's going to go. Just going to put a little mark there and a little mark there, and then that's where it's going to go. And I've got this glue gun, which was a present for my wife. Oh, there we go, it's coming out. Put a nice line down there and pop you down right there. Nice and straight, isn't it? I'll just leave you there, I guess. So, twice I used the glue gun to try and get this to stay down, and twice it failed. I even sanded down the surface and used this hyper tough all-purpose adhesive. That didn't work either, so we gave up and rather crudely nailed this git to the wood. and we didn't really split it or anything, so we've done okay really. So yeah, that's it. I've just basically nailed a piece of wood down.
Onto the Hotus, which stands for hands-on throttle and stick. I've got this rather popular and rather cheap as chips Thrustmaster Hotus X. Now there's a few different variations of this with slightly different names that you can get for both PC, Xbox and PlayStation 4, and I highly recommend it. If you've just started playing the game and you want something that's a bit better than keyboard and mouse but you don't want to be spending hundreds of pounds, this is pretty good actually, and you can download some software that will make it slightly more sensitive and do little things like that, but it's great. I've had mine for a few years now and it's not fallen apart yet. Anyway, what I did was drew around the bottom of these onto a square piece of MDF, and then I cut out the shapes. Underneath the MDF is just a piece of hardboard. That's the back of a broken bookcase that I have in the shed, and I'm going to glue those pieces of MDF to the hardboard after cutting the hardboard out in a square that will fit on the armrest. Under the hardboard I will eventually attach some of those Velcro strips that I was using on the cushions. Again, click the eye at the top right there if you want to see the cushions videos. And the opposite side of the Velcro I will attach to the armrest, but not until the armrest has been painted, so we're not going to be doing that part yet, but you could imagine how that's going to work. Anyway, so with the Velcro on the armrest, that will mean anything I attach Velcro to the bottom to I can just stick down, like the armrest cushions, a steering wheel bracket, the joysticks, a mouse mat, anything that I want to stick there and have it stay still. That'll be quite handy, I think. One of the problems I've had since making the armrest cushion is that now my wrist goes at this weird kind of uncomfortable angle when I'm using the mouse. So I happen to have this cutting board, which is from the kitchen obviously, and it's started to split a little. Not badly, it's not falling apart or anything, but it's no good for preparing food on anymore because there's all these little cuts in there. So what I've done is I've sanded it down a bit and cut it down to the same size as the armrest, or what I have left after the cushion, and it works a treat. I used these leftover bits and a piece of MDF to make a little stand for the one-handed keyboard as well, so now that's at the right height as well, and my wrists are much more comfortable now. Now onto the steering wheel bracket. What I've got here is a fairly budget steering wheel, again similar to my budget Hotus setup. I picked this up for about 30 quid, it's fairly old now, it's for Xbox 360 and PC, but it works with Windows 10 and it's good for stuff like Project Cars. You know, it's similar to the Hotus, it's not a 200-300 pound steering wheel, but it's better than an Xbox controller when it comes to precision and stuff. So, but anyway, enough about the steering wheel. What I want to do is to be able to attach this to the armrests. I'm not going to be using it for the SRV. I really don't think that it handles enough like a car for it to be worth it. I mean, I'm fine driving the SRV with the controller. That's fine with me. This is going to be for other actual car driving games, like I say, Project Cars and Forza and anything else I have installed at the moment. Maybe some arcade Sega Rally kind of games that would be fun to use with the steering wheel. But moving on, there's a part here which is sort of screws into the bottom of the steering wheel, which you are supposed to clip onto a desk, and just cut up a load of MDF. Bit by bit I tried to match up the shape of the underneath of this steering wheel to make it flat, and then attach that to a long piece of shelving. And once again, underneath that shelving I will attach the Velcro strips that will stick onto the armrests, and then I'll have a nice secure steering wheel that's not going to slide around all over the place. And with the circular cutout on the bottom of the desk, I'll have enough room for the pedals. So it's evolving slightly from just a dedicated Elite Dangerous gaming chair to a multi-purpose desk. I'm now thinking I could build myself some arcade sticks and play some Street Fighter 2 kind of games on there, or whatever I wanted to do. I mean, primary focus still is Elite Dangerous or any space simulating game really, but it's nice to have the option of using it for other purposes as well. And there we go, that's as far as this part of the series goes. I think I've made a fair amount of progress with the setup there today, and I'll probably make a few more minor alterations. You may have noticed that I haven't got a keyboard in place. I do have something a little bit special for that, so keep your eyes peeled for that video. And after that we will be moving on to my most anticipated video, which is the button box. I don't know how long that's going to take me, I don't know how many videos that's going to take me, I haven't actually started work on that yet, but can't wait to have some flashing lights and switches and knobs to play with. Isn't that what we all want in life? So please join me for the next part of the Elite Dangerous playlist here on Commander 64. Next week is a retro video. Thanks for watching, keep gaming, take care of each other. Until next time, this is Commander 64, signing off.